the dry dock in Philadelphia Navy Yard with the Ryan Szymanski. All hail Ryan. Ryan's been here for, what, 5 years?
At least 2 lifetimes.
2 lifetimes. Dry docking this iconic battleship, and we've come here just to kind of check things out. And all I have to say is, thank God we have only a fleet submarine to dry dock. Because seeing the scale involved with this, oh my God, I don't know how you're doing it. But suffice to say, he's got Libby to help him with all the whatever you can't do.
Well, she uses the roller and I cut in with the brush.
All right, well, you know what? However it works. So we're going to have a little bit more for you, but we're going to get out of the bottom of this dry dock because I'm getting high from the paint fumes. Catch you in a minute. So here we are back up on top of the dry dock again with the illustrious Ryan Szymanski and that beautiful battleship behind us and the approach to Philadelphia Airport. Hey, catch the Airbus 330 or 320.
Every 2 minutes.
Every 2 minutes. So we're gonna keep this short. You know, people are asking, what the hell is a submarine doing talking about a battleship dry docking? And yes, there is a 5-to-1 kill ratio, submarines sinking battleships. I think only one battleship sank a submarine, and it probably was bumping into them in a shipyard. But, you know, these are all historic ships. They are, I've used the phrase, they're elegant corpses that we're maintaining in an embalmed state. Dressing them up to look proper, long-term preservation. Now, this is going to be pretty much the matrix around a lot of discussion and pictures of COD's dry docking. In 2021, we took COD to Don John Shipyard in Erie for a 62-day dry docking. And I have to say, given the amount of work, I think more structural work was done on our submarine because we had to rebuild the forward and after torpedo shutter, chute, exit areas. You guys don't have any of that real structural stuff.
Yeah.
But tell us briefly, what roughly the scope of work you're doing?
So we originally planned for a 60-day yard period. It's probably going to end up being about 75 days when all is said and done. We did find some stuff in the yard. And really, we're only doing 3 things. For $10 million, you get to paint the bottom of your battleship. It's 125,000 square feet.
$10 million. Yeah, okay.
You get to replace all of your anodes. We went from 1,204 23-pound zincs to 620-pound aluminums.
130.
And you get to check all of your through-hull openings. We've only got 160 we needed to air test.
Maybe a dozen or so, yeah. Wow, thank you, Jesus, having a submarine, not a battleship.
It's definitely worth considering if you're a city that's looking into getting your own museum ship, and you're like, oh yeah, I want a battleship. Well, does your visitation allow for that scale of maintenance?
Smaller is better, yeah. Well, I will say this much, you dropped some numbers, so $10 million. Again, this, you know, we won't know what this costs until probably a month after you're back. But suffice to say, COD's 62-day dry docking with painting the hull and epoxy and some steel replacement and rebuilding the shutters, $1 million. Maybe another 70,000 when you throw in some of the incidentals, including the tow and things. So yeah, we got off cheap. Oh boy.
Yeah, we're probably spending about 7.5 or 8 in the yard, and then the other 2 were doing things like the shore power connections and the tugboats and that sort of stuff to get here. Cutting off the mast. You didn't have to cut your periscopes off to make it under any bridges.
No, but you know, I was really impressed. You guys were talking about air draft. That's something that, you know, nobody ever has to consider unless you're taking your ship under movement, you know, dead ship movement, air draft. You know, how high is the top of the ship, and will it pass under cable passes, bridges, you know? And it was something for us to consider. I'm happy to realize that from Cleveland to Erie, there was nothing overhead. So we had blue skies all the way for our 68-foot air draft. But, you know, again, I've been looking over Ryan's shoulder throughout the course of the dry docking through his videos, and today, you know, getting a really kind of good overview. There's so much the same, and I think with the major difference is just the bloody scale of everything. I know when we were down by the propellers and the rudder skegs, and this is where Evan's going to insert some of our beautiful still pictures as well. I waxed poetic and I said, this, you really understand, this was forged by the hands of Mars, you know, the forge of the god of war. I mean, the scale, the size of this thing with those propellers, and you really feel like a small human looking at, you know, a giant herd of dinosaurs. I mean, well, now I'm getting silly, but you know, I mean,
how far can you take these analogies, Paul?
We're gonna stop right there. Suffice to say that, you know, I mean, I've seen my own sub in dry dock, and that was kind of a Kodak moment and kind of an emotional thing. But looking at a battleship, which I still think of as a target, I had a visceral, emotional reaction looking at that thing to realize, my God, this thing needs to be preserved for all times for so many reasons. And I'm hoping that a lot of some of your state representatives who kind of maybe decide who gets what funding, you know, or whatever, they can come down here and see this, and hopefully they'll have that visceral reaction that this needs to be preserved. Again, the same thing I thought about with COD, but there are so many submarines around, and there are only 4 of these. And I have to say, having visited all of them, they're all great and they are all important. This is the queen of the Iowas, I have to say that, you know, and I don't mean to be patronizing, but she really is. The staff is really...
And here's the money I promised you for saying that.
No. But in all truthfulness. So anyway, Ryan, you guys are still running these incredible dry dock tours. Give us a little recap. How do they book a tour?
If you go to battleshipnewjersey.org, we actually had sold out of the original tickets. We just opened up a few more slots on Friday nights and in early June. So go to battleshipnewjersey.org. There's a place there to buy tickets. And if you had looked already and couldn't find any because we were sold out, we have opened some new slots. New slots, and I'll tell you, it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And what I've seen, you know, there's you put the hazmat equipment on, you get a video presentation, like don't walk off the side of anything, and then you go down for this incredible once-in-a-lifetime experience. And here comes United Flight 311 from Scarsdale in just perfectly on time. No, it's American, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, we'll be back with some more content. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, and remember, Battleship New Jersey. You guys are still producing content every day of the week, right? Every day of the week. Whew, amazing. Be back soon.